All right, and we are back. Welcome to the ADG podcast. I am Jacob,
And I'm Darren.
and we'd like to welcome you guys back to the second official episode.
Yeah, we
So,
made it
if
to
you,
episode two.
woo, two, yeah, blowing up on that social media there. If you
People
guys
can't
don't
get
know
enough.
yet, yeah,
People
I
can't
know,
get
right?
enough. Yeah, that's right.
If you guys don't know yet, we are everywhere. Every single social media, iTunes, SoundCloud, our Facebook, everything's at ADG Podcast. Emails adgpodcast at gmail.com if you want to get a hold of us or get some info or grab any of our links. Check out our Facebook page or Twitter or Instagram. All
Instagram.
the links
Yeah.
are up. There you go. All the links are up. Check them out. We can link to iTunes there and subscribe and give us a 5-star rating because we're so awesome. So what we got on the
Please.
show today,
Yes.
Darren. What you doing?
We have a jam-packed show today. We're going to be talking about
Jam
the
packed.
Oscars. Yes, we're going to be talking
Ooh,
about the Oscars. The Oscars are happening this Sunday. It's
nice.
Hollywood's biggest night. And so we're going to be talking about the Best Pictures nominees. And then we're going to have an Oscar-related top five. So that's going to be fun.
That is
Um,
awesome.
yeah. From there, we're gonna go into a little bit of a serious topic which Jake is very passionate about, so he'll fill you in on that. And then we
Yeah.
have some brand new music to share with you guys. A brand new artist that neither Jake or I know. She
We're gonna
she
spread the love.
she spread the yeah she gave us this beautiful song, so we're gonna hear from that. And then I'm gonna have your sports recap slash look ahead uh after the music break, so that's gonna be fun. And then Jake is going to grace us, bless
Yes.
us
I
with
like that.
with his
Nice.
garbage
It's
person of the
nice.
week,
Perfect.
so make sure you check out that. But Jake, let's start with the Oscars.
Let's do Oscars.
It's Hollywood's biggest night, and all the glitz and glamour, the fashion, the
The
movies,
nonsense.
the nonsense, the lack of a host is all gonna be
There's,
there on Sunday.
there's no host.
There
I'm not
is
paying
no
attention to this
host.
thing. Really?
Yes, there,
They just go up and get their trophies and go away.
just
I'm
have
okay
the
with that.
presenters just announce the awards and that's it. But let's talk about the 2019 Oscars Best
Let's do
Picture
it.
nominees. And and I don't know about you, Jake, but I've seen most of these movies. I haven't seen them all yet, but I'm gonna try to see them all before Sunday.
Let's
Uh,
see. Yeah, I think I've seen a couple of these.
yeah. So let's start with the first one. It's called Vice. And
Vice.
Vice is directed by Adam McKay, who also did uh, he did a movie last year that was also nominated for Best Picture, and it stars Christian Bale, and as he portrays former U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney. And I have to
Oh,
say,
that movie.
yeah, where he put on, exorbitant amount of weight to really look like Dick Cheney, and he looked like him. I was shocked to believe that was Christian Bale. So so it's a great film. I've seen one of this. I love this concept of what kind of film that Adam McKay does. It has humor, but it also makes you think. The stuff that Dick Cheney really had to do to protect the country, as he calls it. So Vice is nominated for Best Picture. From there, it's one of my favorites that I've seen this year. It's called Green Book. It's called
Ooh,
with Mortensen plays an Italian guy from Brooklyn, which right there.
that's why you like it.
You
You're
know what?
playing favorites.
No,
It's your
no, no, no,
heritage.
no, 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 Jake. In all honesty, I didn't know
This is a good movie.
it was a good movie, and B, it was about an Italian guy. I did not know that
There you
going in.
go.
I heard about it, so seeing that was interesting, and the relationship between him and this classically trained pianist, played by Mahershala Ali, who won an Oscar last year, so he's kind of on a roll.
Nice.
So it's about this friendship between these two guys, that he plays his driver, and he's taking them through the deep south, because he plays concerts uh, during he's a concert pianist, so he's taking a tour of the deep south during the 60s, where there's a lot of segregation going on down
Yeah,
there.
that's a
So
tough time.
it was a tough time, but
Yeah.
great acting, great writing. It was definitely one of my favorites. From there, we're gonna go
Mhm.
to Black Panther. Yes, I said Black Panther nominated
Oh, I
for an
know.
Academy Award for Best
That's
Picture.
scary.
First time ever a Marvel slash superhero movie has been nominated
Yeah, and they
for
picked
Best
this
Picture.
one. Oh,
I know, right?
I'm not a fan.
Don't get me wrong, it was one of the better Marvel movies that I've seen. It
This is
box
where we're gonna
office,
disagree.
it did huge. It did huge. Okay, I said one of the best Marvel movies I've seen.
I don't even rate it in the top 5
Top five?
Marvel
Oh,
movies. I don't.
well,
Yeah, no,
well,
no
that,
way.
well, that's a top five for another day. Uh,
No,
but,
I know,
uh,
but I that it wasn't that great. I don't think.
no,
But hey,
no,
it's nominated now. I
it's
think.
nominated, so you got to give it some respect, right?
Yeah, I guess, but yeah, it has its political reasons why it's that high up in the nomination
E-
strategies here. But
Exactly. So from that, we go over to Black Klansman, which it was directed by Spike Lee, and
yes,
and it stars John David Washington and Adam Driver. It's based on a true story about while it's about an African American cop who infiltrates the KKK in the 1970s, and the connection between the current state and it's and there's a connection to the current state of the race relations in the U.S. right now. So I think it's one of Spike Lee's better movies, and for him to get nominated for Best Director, that's also quite amazing. And I've seen this one, and I really enjoyed it. If you like Spike Lee's movie, or you know true stories, which I always enjoy, it's definitely worth checking out.
sounds interesting.
Yeah, and then for those who are big fans of Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody
And
is
I'm
nominated
all
for.
about this one.
Yes, big big fan of this movie. And if there's anything of the Oscar dark horse, it's this movie right now, because there's a lot of like, yeah, it's a good movie, it's a cute movie, but I don't think it's a real Oscar contender, as most critics are saying. But I can see this being an upset.
See,
Obviously,
with this one, what I'm thinking, this will be along the lines of Ray
yeah.
and the Walk the Line. I think it's going to be a strong contender when it actually comes down to it, because it was along the same lines. It was a true story. Well,
Mhm.
not entirely true, but mostly
No,
true.
it's a
You know,
biopic about
yeah,
Freddie Mercury and being the lead singer of
yeah.
Queen, and
The
how they pretty.
acting was great. Music was
Yeah.
great. It gauged. The audience did amazing at the box office.
Mm.
And yeah, it kind of really got you, because again, it addressed some issues he had. Kind of applies to current state of things, and just
Mhm.
a great, engaging movie.
Exactly. And not only if it's nominated for an Oscar, but also won the Golden Globe for Best Actor for Rami
Yes.
Malek portraying Freddie Mercury, and it also won Best Motion Picture for a drama. So they have some momentum going into Sunday for the Best Picture award. So that's going to be interesting to see.
Yep.
After that is The Favorite, and it has and it's a movie about the queen and her two cousins, and it's kind of like a competition to see who is the better friend for the queen, who can get in closer to the queen. So it stars Emma Stone, Rachel Weisz, and Olivia Colman. So that's another great movie to check out. I haven't seen that yet, but I will be definitely, it's going to be on my list. And then Roma is a Netflix original movie, which marks history, because it's the first time a Netflix original movie is nominated for Best Picture. So that's
Yeah,
something to see.
that's something new. That's awesome. I like that, because there's a lot of movies not released in the theaters that I'm sure should look.
Exactly. And it gives people a wider audience to check it out.
Exactly.
Exactly. And then finally, the last one that is nominated for Best Picture is A Star Is Born, starring Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga.
Hmm.
So if you're a fan of Lady Gaga, she really steps out of her comfort zone and plays a singer. I know, shocker, right? Uh, and Bradley Cooper plays the drunk, rock and
Plays
roll star.
himself.
That's that kind of is kind of down on his luck, and so he finds this girl. She has an amazing voice, an amazing song. Pretty much changes her life, and it's a remake of a remake. So this is the third time this movie has been done. So hopefully, third time's a charm for Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga to win Best Picture. And those are your Oscars Best Pictures
Yeah, not bad,
nominees.
not bad. I have seen a few of those.
Yes. So
Yeah,
Jake,
not bad.
so if you're a betting man, who would you bet on to win Best Picture?
Right now, it's a toss up. I'm definitely biased. I'm all about the music. Bohemian
Okay.
Rhapsody for me. Oh,
Mm.
I haven't seen The Star Is Born, but I've heard the music and it's just not great. So no, it's not. And nothing against Lady Gaga or
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper. But
Yeah.
if I hear that song on the radio one more time, I'm gonna smash something. And Bohemian Rhapsody just was really, really a good movie. But I'm yet to see a couple more movies before this thing happens this weekend. I have
Yeah.
a couple days left,
Yeah.
so I might change my mind by then. But yeah, I'm all in on Bohemian Rhapsody for Best Picture.
Excellent. Well, well,
Stuff. What do you think?
yes. You know what? I'm gonna say a dark
You've
horse.
seen more than I have, so yeah.
I know. You know what? I'm gonna say a dark horse is Bohemian Rhapsody, but I'm gonna say a favorite is gonna be Green Book or Roma. Those are my top three picks.
Nice.
So
That's
those are
good.
gonna be three. So speaking of Oscars, we have a special top 5 list, and it's gonna be it's gonna be top 5 uh, Oscar movies that have won the most Oscar trophies. And these can be for anything, not just best picture, actor, director, set design, blah blah blah. So we'll start with number 5, and number 5 is going way back to 1939 and Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the
Well,
Wind.
that movie has some records for being the
Exactly.
highest grossing movie there in ever in
Back then,
history.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's definitely it's won 9 Oscars. That's
Wow.
back in 1939. So number 4 was West Side Story, the musical. Have you
West
ever heard?
Side Story the musical, really?
Yeah, that's right. It
Okay.
that came out in 1961, and it won 10 Oscars altogether.
Damn. See, I've seen all of those so far, so we're doing pretty good.
All right, look at you, Jake. You're 2 for 2.
I know.
All right, number 3, The Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, back in
All right.
2003.
I've seen that one a whole bunch of times right there.
There you
You
go.
own
Wow,
that on
look at
DVD.
you movie buff, Jake. You
3 for
That-
3, and that was
yeah,
how many? How many did that win?
that won 11 Oscars.
11. Oh, okay. Probably for like
11.
design and everything
Yeah,
else
special
categories.
effects and
Special
everything.
effects. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 2 was Titanic. Yes, we all
Titanic.
remember
See,
Titanic.
I'm 4 for 4, but I regret this
Wow.
one.
Titanic back in 1997 won 11 Oscars.
11 Oscars.
Yes.
Wow.
So,
So probably one for CGI because that was like 99% of that movie.
oh yeah, it was such a marvel of
Computer
uh,
technology by at that
oh
time.
yeah, that was really like the peak of CGI and everything going
Yeah.
before anything else. And then number
Awful.
one,
Awful.
back in
What is it?
1959 with 11
59.
Oscars. Yes, it's a three-way tie for number 1 is Ben-Hur.
Okay.
Back in
Okay.
1959, I believe Charlton Heston was in that movie.
Yes. I've seen that
Yes.
once.
You've seen that
the only
once.
time.
Wow.
That's as many times I'm actually gonna watch it ever. Once.
I think that's all you really need to see it once.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's our Oscar top 5 list, and that's a wrap for the top 5.
Very
list.
nice. Very
Yes.
nice. Top 5. All
Top
right.
5.
Very good. Well, going off of that segue, because if I swear if this was radio, we'd be fired again. All right. No, it's true. That was sweet. That was good top 5.
Yeah.
And definitely down for the Oscars. We'll watch them this weekend. We'll just say
For
Sunday.
sure. Sunday, 8:00, ABC. Check it out.
ABC. Okay. Well, that's good. All right. Let's segue that because this my next topic has to do a little bit about movies also. Something popped up on Netflix last weekend or the weekend before. I was like, I'm down with some documentaries. I'll watch it. I like to watch anything that's interesting, anything that can expand my knowledge, learn something new, something makes you feel sometimes. So this movie popped up called Audrey and Daisy.
Mhm.
So checked it out. Wife's like, yeah, let's watch this. Let's see what it's about. So it's a movie about two girls in different towns, and I'm not gonna be too graphic in describing what happens. You guys can look it up on Wikipedia and Google it if you want. But certain events happen in their lives, and has a lot of sexual assaults and things like that. Oh, they're kids, and one of them commits suicide, and one of them struggles with what happens to them. And like I said, they don't know each other. Similar situations, different towns across America, and it's a tragic movie, but it's very inspiring. And that's what I kind of tackled today on this show. We're gonna get serious for it, 10, 15 minutes, because it's a growing epidemic. I think suicide awareness is a thing. We got to get it out there, either with people dealing with their internal issues or external issues, as in this movie, for example. And it's just finding our coping mechanisms for what's happening to in our lives and things like that. And it's a great movie to watch. Not as in great, yeah, I'm going to watch this movie, but to see how different people affect other people's lives. And sometimes suicide is their option, which it shouldn't be. We all should be able to deal with things and look for that support and, um, have someone to lean on in certain situations. So I definitely recommend checking out this movie and seeing the stories or how people's opinions affect other people's lives and their decisions and how our culture and society work in general for certain situations. I'm not saying it's a staple for how this movie portrays certain things, but it's just one side of it. Now, also, what caught my eye with this movie is at the same time, one of my friends at work on Facebook, this had to do something different for his birthday. And it just popped up on my feed one day last week. And I thought it was very interesting. For his birthday, all he wants, he set up a fundraising account for suicide awareness. Just like a simple goal, fundraise. And I thought it was a great idea. I really did. Um, and it really kind of broadened the idea of what you actually can do to change people's lives where the support's needed. And for someone to do, and his name is Kevin. Shout out.
There
Shout
you
out to
go,
Kevin.
Kevin.
Good stuff. And for someone to think that way, like, you know what? I don't want anything, but if you guys can donate for this cause, or I think it's like this goal is like $250, which is not huge, but it's something. It's a reasonable goal.
Yeah.
He's not asking for thousands of dollars here.
No.
It's great. It's a good idea. I hope his friends and everyone else who sees it donates. It's just a nice attempt at actually making positive change. So that's my serious moment for this podcast. Just everything popped up last couple of weeks. I'm like, oh, we should talk about it. It's a
Yeah.
good we
And,
have
and,
a forum.
and you know what? We'll post that link to if anyone that wants to donate up on our website and our social media. So if you're interested, you could help out Kevin.
Yeah, I'm gonna post. I'm gonna actually message him after we're recording, and we'll get this done. We'll get this set up. See if he's down for that. Yeah, we'll reach out.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
That's
yeah,
great, Jake. That's fantastic.
yeah. Get some opinions out there. You guys have any other ideas or issues or
Exactly.
anything?
Or if there's something that you want us to talk about, if you have an event that's coming up, if you're having a charity fundraiser that's coming up, let us know. We'll be more than happy to talk about it here on the ADG podcast.
The ADG podcast is here, and even issues like this, you have circumstances you guys want to talk about, bring up some issues that we're dealing with. Hey, just email us, let us know, and we'll discuss it. We'll talk about it. We'll throw out your ideas.
There you go.
We'll do our part.
That's it. We're here to help.
We are here to help.
That's it.
And just with that, I think we should liven up the mood a little bit. Have a little music break today.
Who's our featured artist, Jake?
Oh, you know what? I've been listening to this song for the last couple of days.
Yeah.
I'm in a lot of Facebook groups where artists communicate, share their stuff. We share our stuff a lot, and as you know, I'm somewhat of an artist. I do some stuff, and once in a while I find people, they share their stuff on my posts and things like that. And this amazing singer just popped up, sent me her link to her video, and I'm like, "Well, this sounds pretty good. We should feature her." And she sent me her audio. She sent me some information. Her name is Nyuma, Nyuma, and she's from Zambia.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we're worldwide, man.
Yeah.
We are worldwide. And she sent me an awesome song, and which we're gonna listen to today. The song's called Stars, and it's available on YouTube and Reverb Nation, SoundCloud, and we're gonna post our link as soon as this podcast is up. We'll throw that link on our socials, preferably Facebook at ADG Podcast, and you can check out, give her some likes, give her some views, because you know what, she reached out and she's like, you know what, let's listen to some of this great music. The song's called Stars. It's Nyuma, and we're gonna play that right now.
When I look at you and you look at me, I see the stars in your eyes. You know my heart and I know yours. I see the sun in your heart. I look at you and you look at me. I see the stars in your eyes. You know my heart and I know yours. I see the sun in your eyes. Your love is kind, your love is true, your love is so secure. I find rest in your arms. You give me hope, you keep me strong, never so proud. You hold my soul with your grace, and nobody like you. Nobody can love me like you. You're the only one for me, and I find rest in your eyes. When I look at you and you look at me, I see the stars in your eyes. You know my heart and I know yours. I see the sun in your heart. I look at you and you look at me. I see the stars in your eyes. You know my heart and I know yours. I see the sun in your eyes. Your love is pure, your love is sure, never so cruel. My heart finds rest in your arms. You give me strength, you keep me warm, never lets me down. My soul finds rest in your grace, and nobody like you. 'Cause nobody can love me like you. You're the only one for me, and I find rest in your eyes. When I look at you and you look at me, I see the stars in your eyes. You know my heart and I know yours. I see the sun in your heart. I look at you and you look at me. I see the stars
limitations.
All right, so that was Numa,
That was
and
fantastic.
I know, right? That's
Wow.
really hard. Yeah, it's gonna be one of my tracks for the next little bit. Definitely,
It made your way onto Jake's playlist. I like that.
it is on my playlist. Definitely.
Awesome.
So I already liked the video. I already shared the video, and I'm gonna share it again on our social media once this is up.
Excellent.
And yeah, give her a shout out again. It's Numa. She's from Zambia. Great artist. Great sound. It's something different. Not on your typical radio stuff. So I'm definitely down for that. As everybody who ever listens to my stuff, cheap plug. And yeah, give her a shout over there.
Awesome.
So that's that. So what I heard something, Darren.
What? Yeah.
I
What
heard you want to do a sports recap
We're gonna
after
do a
excellent job. Well, we did an excellent job on sports last
Yes, we
podcast,
did.
so I
Yes,
guess
we
there's
did.
a need for that. So I'll let you get started. What do you want to
All
talk
right.
about?
Well, it's a little bit of a sports recap / sports review. A review of the upcoming week that is about to hit it. So let's start in the NHL. Last night, the Red Wings were playing at home against the Chicago Blackhawks, and they lost in
Shocked.
overtime. They lost. I
Shocked.
know, shocker. But you
Happy
know,
about
kudos to the Red Wings. They were down 4-1, and they came all the way back to force overtime. So there is still plenty of fight in that team. So they lost 5-4 in overtime. Tonight, Toronto is at home as they take on the Washington Capitals. That's at 7:00. And Friday, Minnesota is at Detroit for a puck drop is at 7:30.
Nice.
Baseball. Can we talk about baseball? It's the start of spring training, my friend.
Might as well.
Yes, it's something to cheer about. Baseball is almost here, folks. Tigers, Blue Jays start the spring training portion of their schedule Saturday at 1:00 over in Florida. So if you happen to be in Florida, enjoy that nice warm weather while we're here freezing our ass off. And yes, that's at 1:00 on Saturday. And last night, the Windsor Express. Yes, the Windsor Express.
It's our basketball team locally.
Yeah, we're
For
going
those who
basketball now. Yeah, I know. Windsor Express, for those of you who don't know, it's Canadian Professional Basketball League. And the Windsor Express are just rolling right now. They've won their 9th straight at home as they beat St. John's 123-116. And staying in basketball, we'll start a little NCAA basketball.
Oh, good. I thought you were going to say Pistons.
No. Don't worry. They're coming up, though. Don't worry about it. Michigan is home. Will be taking on the Minnesota Golden Gophers tonight at 7. And then Sunday, Jake, the biggest basketball game in the state of Michigan takes place.
I'm excited.
It's Michigan State taking on Michigan, 1:00 on Sunday.
Michigan by 10, calling it right now.
Michigan by 10. Okay, you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about the NBA. And yes, those woeful Detroit Pistons taking on even worse than them, the Atlanta Hawks. If you can't beat the Atlanta Hawks,
they shouldn't.
You shouldn't even have a
they
franchise.
shouldn't. They should not beat the Atlanta Hawks.
So
they should not.
Detroit versus Atlanta. That's 7:30 on Friday, and then a special for those who are enjoying locally, the OCAA Women's Playoff Basketball. They have a playoff game on Saturday. That's 2:00 at the Sportsplex in at St. Clair College. Big playoff game. Get out, support the girls as they continue on their playoff run. And we have a little OHL action, a little hockey action. Sault Ste.
We should have an expert for that. We should have an expert
right?
For
well, I think we have an OHL expert. Maybe we'll bring him on one day.
We could bring him on, yeah.
OHL, the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds are in town tonight to take on the Windsor Spitfires. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. The Spitfires are in 8th place, so they're just clinging on to that final playoff spot and they're only 1 point behind 7th place. So that's going to be interesting to see. And finally, a little NFL news. Who doesn't like some NFL news?
Love it.
I know.
Let's do this.
I know.
More,
Jake.
please.
Jake loves some
I'm
NFL
excited.
news, and and I have some about the Detroit Lions. Lions are classified as a dark horse to sign Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Antonio Brown. So they're not the favorites. They're not a secondary choice. They're a dark horse. Jake, what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that, he's not coming here because it's Detroit.
You don't think so?
We don't have the cap space for one.
But
that's not going to happen.
But it would have to be a trade.
It would have to be a trade. Can we trade Stafford?
Well, I think they are.
Ziggy Ansah.
I think he's already leaving.
I know, but just
his contract is already
anyway. Oh yeah, is it? Yeah, because I didn't. They franchise tagged him for a year, right?
They did.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
it's only
trade
for 1 year.
Yep, definitely.
I think that might interfere with their quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, who's won a Super Bowl. So
I'm okay with that. He's okay. He's almost 50. He's got to retire soon.
Yeah. So that is your sports. That's your 82 sports recap.
I got something for you. That was excellent, by the way.
Thank you.
Breaking news in the sports recap.
Breaking news
from last night.
Yeah.
And this is going to be tragic. Zion Williamson.
Oh my God! I watched that game and I couldn't believe it. I was so amped up to watch that game. And 33 seconds.
His Nike shoe exploded.
Just exploded. Now, a lot of people are blaming Nike. They're blaming Zion Williams. They're blaming Paul George because it was his shoe.
Was it?
It was his designer shoe that he was wearing.
Yeah, that's an expensive knee. That's a first draft pick knee.
Yeah. So hopefully it's not too serious because
Duke lost.
And Duke got killed by North Carolina.
North Carolina, that's right. Which Michigan beat beginning of the year.
Yes, I know all the Michigan
slappies. There you go. That's
force. Right. Oh jeez.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh boy.
Letting that out there. Yeah, but that's craziness. That's crazy breaking news. All right. You know what? Another nice segue.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
From breaking knees and breaking shoes to breaking people's hearts. Here he goes.
That's right. Yes. Garbage person of the week.
We need a theme song for garbage person of the week.
You know, I'll work on that. I'm sure there's a lot of songs they're garbage songs too. But all right.
Wasn't there a band called Garbage? Yeah.
Yeah, I there's a couple of good songs. I can't really call them garbage if I actually like the song they played.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no. Garbage person of the week. And this is not going to be any surprise to anybody who's seen my memes out there this week. To our listeners, Josie Smollett. Someone
you mean
from
Jesse?
that. Was it Jesse?
Yeah, I think
his name weird. Like, why can't people just spell their name properly? J-U.
That's the reason why you're garbage, because you don't know how to spell your name properly.
Reason number one, your name sucks.
Your name sucks. Okay. Spell it normal.
That's right. Garbage person of the day, of the week, your name sucks. That's one. Many points to follow, by the way. Okay, so this is the same person of that other garbage show on Fox. What's it called? Who gives a shit? It's Empire. Yeah. It's a shit show. All right. So this kid fakes his own assault. Mm-hmm. This kid, he's actually been charged as of this morning, as we're recording, at this time, he's been charged with faking his own assault. Crazy. Really? How sad are you? You have to fake your own assault and blame it on people that have nothing to do with it. And I don't care which side of the aisle you are, but blaming somebody for something they didn't do, obviously, and it comes out right now that it's the actual opposite, that's really garbage. That's a garbage human being. That's a garbage person with a garbage attitude. And would it be shocking? It's not shocking to me. I've seen this shit all year from certain people, but now it's an extreme where actually the news media are picking up on it, and those guys are clueless half the time. Well, most of the time. Right. I'm not a big fan of mainstream media, but they're actually picking up on some of this. This kid had the nerve to blame people who have nothing to do with anything stage and pay 2 guys to fake this story? Seriously? Is it necessary? What does it accomplish? That's what I want to know. Jesse
Exactly.
Smollett, what does this accomplish? If I got your name right the second time, asshole, spell it right. What does it accomplish? Like, I don't get it. That gets you so much negative media now. You gotta lose your job. I hope you lose your job. I hope they write you out. I hope they drop you off a building in your show. Your shit. Hope you never get another acting job again. Like that's just horrible. Why would you do that to people?
I guess we'll never be sponsored by Empire anytime soon.
No, I'm okay with that. I don't need their crappy music. I got my own crappy music.
We have our own crappy music.
Exactly. Well, no, but like if you look at it, you dupe the entire mainstream media, which is not that hard to do.
No,
not
in this day and age.
To follow this story, everybody out there like, oh my God, this kid was actually assaulted by these racists. Yeah, you know what? Well, he wasn't. How do you feel, asshole? He wasn't. Totally fabricated. Totally fake. So fake. It's disgusting.
Now, can I jump in? I just want to know, like, 'cause I'm not a fan of Empire. I've never seen an episode. I never knew who this kid was until this story broke. And was this a way of him getting attention, or is him to play victim and to capitalize on the current condition of America these days?
I think you hit it right on the nail. I think it's the condition. It's like, you know what? There's a divide, and I'm going to anger people and get my name out there and stand for something that doesn't exist. Because I think that's what it is. So it's stupid. Like, why would you even want to attempt something like that? And now, you know what? I'm glad it's going to ruin his career. I'm happy about that. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how they write him off the show. Maybe he falls down an elevator shaft or something.
Okay. Maybe he goes out Tupac style and then they just
just a drive-by.
But yeah, whatever. Just get him off the show. It's ridiculous. And they have some decent actors in that show, but come on. It's not something you should be doing if you have an opportunity to get your name out there. You have somewhat of an influence, and let's say actors have somewhat of an influence on social media and on people. Why would you do that? What's the point in it? I don't get it. So that's my garbage person of the week.
Well done,
Jesse.
sir. Well done.
Okay. Oh, that's our explicit icon there. Went to work. I have to swear.
Hey, we earned that explicit mark on iTunes for that.
Per episode. So there's that.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was all I had for that. So let's close this out because this was a decent show.
This is a great episode.
Yeah. So for episode 2, follow us every single social media from Twitter, SoundCloud, Facebook. Get on that Facebook group, people.
Yes. Give us a like.
Give us a like on Twitter at ADG Podcast. All that. We're on iTunes. I'll post links on our social media for that.
We're on Spotify. We're on Spotify as well.
Yeah, we're on Spotify. We're on SoundCloud. We're everywhere. Every single social media out there, we're on it. And everything is at ADG Podcast. So hit up that Facebook group especially. Give us a like on there. And then we'll give you our links to everything, to the artists you've heard today, some of the stories. We'll throw some links on there to all of our iTunes links. It's easier to subscribe and download through iTunes. Give us some follows, some shares. Throw it out there. Instagram. Just get out there. Help us promote if you like it. If you don't like it, that's cool. Tell us. Let us know. Email adgpodcast@gmail.com. Just give us some feedback. Let us know how everything's going. Hit us up on a YouTube channel. I'll throw some clips on there. Some previews again. And next week's episode, we'll throw another preview sometime early next week. So look out for that. Enjoy this show. And thanks for checking us out. I am Jacob.
I'm Darren.
And this is the ADG Podcast.